I have got the yellow stack of the bold card game that Ida sent us. So we will do the yellow stack. They're just conversation cards. They just get you thinking. Do a little pop quiz with y'all. But first, you know what we gotta do. Some channel maintenance, some channel hygiene. So if you are new here, welcome to my nonsense. If you're old here, welcome back. Oh geez, if you're new here, please consider hitting subscribe. And if you're old here, go double check, make sure you're subscribed, hit the like. If you like, leave a comment. If anything related to the video, it could just be a hello, a few emojis, whatever, as long as it's cool and friendly. Hit the notification bell. As always, I will link my tip jars down yonder in the description box. No pressure whatsoever. But every $1 or $2 helps. That's what allows me to continue to make content. Also, you are invited to my Patreon. I know, not everybody can come, but you can't say that you were invited. Okay, I was about to shuffle these like some damn tarot cards. Stop it, Nat. If your credit score were a person, who would it look like? Who? I mean, I guess my credit score is like a... Peps. Stop. He's back. Sorry, he's back there scratching. He's got his collar on. You know, who's like a 7 out of 10? Who's a 7 out of 10 in the celebrity world? I would feel bad saying that because I don't want to... It's a 7 out of 10, okay? If you could see a statistic or a number floating over people's heads like in a video game, what would you most want to see and why? They're, you know how like when you watch a political speech or something and then they go back and they check how many false statements were made? Like there should be none, right? That's your job, every statement. Now I get how you might want to not say some things, but you shouldn't just be lying. You shouldn't just be making stuff up. That's your whole job. But I want to see how honest somebody is as they're talking. That would be a good one to have flashing up here. Like this person is 10% honest. That would be a good one. And then you can avoid all the scam wows. What do you think the opposite sex notices about you first? Just probably that I am the opposite sex of them, maybe. I don't know. What do you wish you were better at? Articulating my feelings. There's a word for it. I do have trouble labeling my feelings. What do you think your best physical feature is? I don't know. I have healthy hair. I have some healthy hair. Getting a lot of grays these days, but I have healthy hair. If people came with a warning label, what would yours say? You know how like those dogs have the do not approach? Maybe something like that. Do not approach or give space. Need space. Something like that. If you could take away one person in the world's ability to reproduce, who would it be? Kanye. Too late. He already did. Y'all, I'll never get over him saying that his kids were kidnapped because he wasn't invited to his daughter's birthday. And I just got in an argument with this. Not an argument, but like, I don't care if you're my friend or not. I'm going to say what needs to be said. One of my male friends was upset because he wasn't invited to his daughter's party. And I said, that's normal. There is nothing stopping you from putting in the work just like your baby mama did and having a party, and you don't got to invite your baby mama to that. normal. Not everybody got to go co-parent at the same events. You know, it's not a sports game. She wants to have a little party. She can have a little party. You feel weird about it? Start doing all that work and having your own. But remember, he said he was kidnapped because he wasn't invited, and they were like not going to tell him where it was. That's not kidnapping. That is not. Stop co-signing that. We have real kidnappings going on. Stop co-signing that. Okay, that was a tangent. What are you most likely to splurge on? At the moment, it's like work clothes, but normally it's perfume. Normal and food. What is the best gift that you have ever received? Like material gift? Because like I guess the best gift I ever received was my kids. Material gift? I don't know. I'd have to think about that one. I don't know. What subject matter do you think you are the most qualified to give advice about? Okay, look. My sense of justice is very intact. Very, especially when it comes to other people. So, I think that my advice on like if you were wronged and what you should do about it is probably, I'm probably pretty qualified that I can sense when something was wrong, when somebody wronged somebody. And not a lot of people have it, I guess. I guess people's sense of justice is like out of whack and everybody's just running around doing wrong things to people all the time. And a lot of people are just letting it go. Or a lot of people don't even notice. They don't even notice when they've been wronged. And that's what just allows it to continue. I really want people to start advocating for, sir or ma'am, that wasn't appropriate. That wasn't okay. And then go from there. Which emojis remind you the most of me? Like what emojis remind me the most of me is the one with like the straight eyes and the straight mouth, like that. Do you know what I'm talking about? It's just two lines across and one line across here. I find myself using that emoji often. It's like In what ways do you think social media has changed dating? I need my water. In what ways do you think social media has changed dating? Just people are dating every day now. You know, you used to have to kind of have a crush and have a little charm. Act a little bit, you know, cool for a little while sometime. And then you could ask somebody out. And now you just hop on an app and you can ask 10 people out in one day. You're just throwing stuff out there and seeing what sticks. And it's obvious. It's obvious. A lot of these everything's so canned. It's so canned, and they're just like rotating these conversations, and I think it went too far. I'm not gonna lie, I think it went too far. Do you believe in the saying, a drunk mind speaks a sober heart? Why or why not? Maybe a moderately drunk mind can speak a sober heart. Like a buzzed mind might be able to speak a sober heart. Might get up. But drunk off your ass, that ain't speaking for you. That's coming out of that's alien abduction. That's alien abduction. If you had to eliminate one of your senses, Which would it be and why? No, I like all of mine. No. I get, no. I'm not going to put myself through this. I like all my senses. I was about to say hearing because people drive me nuts. And I'm really sensitive to everything. But then I couldn't hear ASMR. No. Describe each of the following in 2 words or less. The internet, shit show, Instagram. Somewhat useful. TikTok, too addictive. LinkedIn, don't use it. That was 3 words. Never mind. Kanye West. The 2 on the bottom of this are Kanye West and Donald Trump. And for Kanye West, I'm going to describe him as Donald Trump. And then for Donald Trump, I'm going to describe him as Kanye West. How about that? I think they're like brothers. Twin brothers. What would you be if you had to give yourself a high maintenance score from 1 to 10, with 10 being Kim Kardashian and 2 being Bear Grylls? I don't know who Bear Grylls is. Maintenance wise, low. I would not put myself above 4 maintenance wise. And no hate if yours is at a 10. Do your thug thizzle. Okay. What would be the worst thing to be famous for, and what would be the stupidest? The worst thing to be famous for would be crime. Like, there are people that are famous for their crime, right? And what would be the stupidest? Okay, I think the stupidest thing to be famous for is like those TikTok dances. The TikTok dances. I'm going to get some water because I can't. Stanley, my husband, actually got this for me after that miserable day I had at work the other day. Okay, let us continue. What do I think my own red flags are? Black and white thinking. I think sometimes I can expect people to just know when I've had enough, and they don't. I don't know if that's my red flag or theirs. What do I think my green flags are? I mean, so red flag might be that I kind of don't have a filter, but also it's kind of my green flag too, because I just say like the truth about stuff, and not to hurt people or anything. I have manners, but I'm just pretty upfront about I don't know. That's a question for the people that know me, right? I can't sit here and say I'm one way or another. My family might have a totally different answers for this, my friends. Rigid is one of my red flags. I'm pretty rigid. I don't like much spontaneity. I like to have things planned ahead. I don't like changes to that. So those are all red flags. I don't know. And this is about somebody, if I was playing the game, I would be asking you those same questions. How would you describe or label your style? Mess. I mean, I can clean up, but I even think like when I clean, I just don't feel put together. I don't. And that's because so many fabrics and so many styles bother my body that like I'm not comfortable when I'm looking nice. If I could bring back one fashion from throughout history, what would it be? I think I'm going to go back to wearing dresses a lot. I think that dresses are actually so comfortable. Like, a lot of them are so comfortable. And then you kind of look like you tried, but really you're just in a sack, you know? So maybe like bringing back a time in history that was more dresses, but then I wouldn't want people to feel obligated to that. There are a lot of people that don't feel comfortable like that. So it's just like a trend. Like you can participate. Dresses are big again, but you don't have to. If you could be a fly on the wall and eavesdrop on any one person, who would it be? I don't like eavesdropping. I don't like being forced to eavesdrop. So don't talk on your phone around me. What is the creepiest thing that a stranger has ever said to you? No, I used to work in the industry. Nothing's standing out, but I'm sure there's 100 million weird things strangers have said to me. Have you ever ghosted or stood someone up? Nope. I'll just say I can't go. I don't ghost people. I don't get it. What is wrong with somebody that you can't be like, I'm not gonna come? What's wrong with you? And people get off on it. People do it for fun. You ain't cool. Just say I'm not coming. Just say I'm not interested. I know sometimes people think that might be dangerous. So I guess that's one reason to ghost somebody. But a lot of times it's not. It's people just be like, well, I'm just not gonna go. Okay, so send a 2-second text. I'm not gonna go. Okay. You know how bogus it is to have somebody getting ready to come out and meet you and then you just aren't? You're wrong for that. If animals could talk, which do you think would be the rudest? Geese are pretty rude. You know, I heard honey badgers are pretty rude. I think cats would be pretty rude. A lot of cats would be kind of rude. Not all. How would you describe most of your friends? Smart, funny, hardworking, chill. What are the best and worst compliments a stranger has ever given you? You know, I get compliments here and there. I get compliments on the channel, or like sometimes little kids will say the sweetest things. Yesterday a little girl told me she liked my eye color, which, you know, they're contacts, but it's still sweet, you know. Worst compliments, I remember when I was in junior high and I was making a point and the dean told me I should be a politician, and that still hurts my feelings. That was in 7th grade, and that still hurts my feelings because I know what he meant. He meant I was being a jerk. Okay. Do you think that I intimidate people? I have a long history of being told that I was intimidating. And I think that being told that a million times led me to like this people pleasing, and that like I just tried so hard not to be, and that didn't work out. So let's just go back to intimidating people. I'm not trying to, but whatever. I can't mask anymore. That's kind of the same question. What is my biggest weakness? Oh, all my little quirks are huge setbacks and huge because they're just, the world isn't made for them. So all my little quirks, and the fact that because of all these quirks and because I'm always constantly, you know, running around trying to all day when I don't feel like that, I'm very tired. My biggest weakness is how freaking tired I am. Tell you about my spiritual beliefs. Well, I can't really articulate them. I can't. I'm a spiritual person, but it's very fluid. Every day I feel different spiritually. So my spiritual beliefs are very fluid. What is the most challenging thing for people to understand about you and why? I don't know that one. My defining characteristic? Defining characteristic. You guys will have to tell me that one. What is the best way to get for somebody to give me criticism politely? Politely, but also you have to ask if somebody's open to it. You don't just go handing out criticism unless you are somebody's employer or, somebody's guide at something. Then you don't just go around criticizing people. Well, somebody had to say, no, somebody didn't have to say it. Somebody didn't have to say it. Especially not you. Like, what? Who are you to this? Like, what? So, the best way to give criticism is to ask first. Are you open to criticism? And then consider, why are you asking that? What authority do you have to be asking somebody that? Mentors that have had the most significant impact in your life, probably some of the people at AA, and nobody in particular. Just you just see people that have been through it, not necessarily just AA, like older women that have been through it, and you can just glean so much from that. You really can, and I can't glean that kind of stuff from people that haven't been through it. I like my people rough around the edges. My most annoying habit, well, right now it's freaking coughing. Most annoying habit is, some people probably think chewing gum. Who is the most remarkable person that I know? Sometimes I think my husband, because like not a lot of stuff bothers him. I'm like, wow. What is that like? Everything bothers me. I'm trying my best, but it's constant stimulation. And then here's my husband. I'm like, do you hear that? Like, what? Do you hear something? The fish tank is being loud. And he's like, huh? And I'm like, you don't hear that? And he can like work long hours and he's not really that tired after. He's just like, no, what? Like, what the hell is that like? What is that like, bro? But it's helpful to have somebody that has more energy than me around and that, is a little more stable for the most part. What is the most intoxicated you have ever been? Well, the reason I quit drinking, that I was an alcoholic, the last 2 times that I drank, I just couldn't function. Like I blacked out. My arms and legs weren't working right. I don't know what the hell happened, but that was my sign to get the hell out. How old would you think I am if you didn't know my age? Like, what do I get guessed at a lot is, I get guessed younger than my age a lot by a decent amount of years. But some days I feel every bit of 80. I do. So, just depends on the day. What are the best and worst traits that someone can possess? Just honesty, humility. Honesty and humility and a good sense of humor. We can work with those things. Worst traits, just everything about self-centered and self-centeredness is the root of all evil, isn't it? You start seeing some signs, like, I'm not talking about self-preservation or self-care or just boundaries. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about people that will do anything and say anything, and there's no give, it's all take. What are the best and worst excuses you've ever heard? Best excuse? Is there a thing as best excuses? I mean, there's valid excuses, but I don't really consider them excuses. You know, your car broke down or you're actually sick. Worst excuses? We do gotta lighten up on saying that, you know, I couldn't do this because I felt this way. Like, okay, that works sometimes, but if you're like that all the time, you gotta go get help. You gotta go get help. You gotta get functional. You can feel that way, and your feelings are valid, but you have got to make some steps to get out of that funk. You have to. And as an adult, you're the one that has to do it. And I know it sucks, and I've been there, and I've been down. But you just do one little thing, and then the next day you do one more little thing. If I interviewed your exes, what would they say about you? I don't have no exes. What is your favorite smell? Today it is, I've been loving it. It's the new YSL, the Leave Intense. It's a hitter. I've been wearing it a lot. That's kind of a similar question. What small things mean the most to you? I mean, anytime anybody does something little for me, whether it's, say you're standing in line at the grocery store and you didn't have a cart, so you just have some stuff in your hands, and the person in front of you has a cart, and they're like, hey, go ahead. Like, are you sure? Yeah, like that. Little shit like that makes a world of difference in your day. You'd be like, wow, humans are nice for the rest of the day. You know, and then the opposite can happen. I've had some grocery store incidents. And you're like, I hate people. What is wrong with people? Like one time I was just standing there and this lady wouldn't move her cart. She wasn't looking and she just was, it was minutes. And so I moved her cart and she got pissed. All right, bring it. What are you going to do? The next move's yours. You just pissed? Okay. But you're not going to do anything? Okay. I'm pissed too. Well, how do you have no sense of somebody standing right there trying to get by you and your cart's just hanging out and you're just... I think people do it on purpose. I don't think that something like that could be that unintentional. That was a tangent. Who would you invite if you threw a party and could bring any 3 celebrities? Danny Trejo. This is a list of 3 dudes. And that ain't right. But right now, who comes to my mind is Danny Trejo, Steve Buscemi, and Ryan Reynolds. But I will think of women celebrities too. That one doesn't apply. What is something that the world thinks is probably impossible, but that I believe is likely possible? Ending world hunger. I think it's totally possible. But apparently they would lead you to believe that it's not possible. If I were stranded on a deserted island, what 3 items would I bring? Well, can I have Wi-Fi? Because I want to bring like a laptop or some tech. But then, okay, so if I had my tablet, then I could read on it. So it would be like my Kindle and my whole Wi-Fi thing. And then I would want to bring unlimited food and water. And what would the third thing be? At least a comfy bed, right? Oh, it had to be chapstick. If I had to pick between a bed and chapstick, I'd need chapstick. That sucks. Final card. How do I describe the way that I perceive things realistically, which can often be thought of as pessimistically, but I assure you, it's pretty accurate. It's pretty realistic. I do struggle with optimism. Okay, so that was the yellow bold. We still have, I think, the white ones left. We did the black ones first, and these were perceptions. All right, if you are still there and you watched this all the way to the end, thank you very much. I hope that you have a good rest of your day, rest of your evening, and or a good night's sleep, and I will see y'all real soon.